This German shepherd refused to leave his owner's funeral. But then he suddenly began stepping on the coffin. When the lid broke, everyone heard something and screamed in shock, because what was in that coffin, no one could have imagined. Dogs have extraordinary senses. They can perceive things we humans cannot see. They sense earthquakes before they happen. They smell diseases before doctors diagnose them. But can a dog really tell the difference between life and death? This true story will leave you speechless. It was an ordinary morning at the Carter family home. Francis Carter, a 68-year-old family man, sat at breakfast. Beside him, as always, his loyal German shepherd Max. The two were inseparable. For 8 years they had been best friends. Suddenly Francis grabbed his chest. His face turned pale. He collapsed from his chair. Max jumped up immediately. He barked, loud, desperate. The family called the ambulance. The paramedics arrived within minutes. They tried everything: CPR, defibrillator. But Francis didn't respond. No pulse, no breathing, no signs of life. After 30 minutes, they pronounced him dead. The family was devastated. Francis's wife, Grace, cried non-stop. The children couldn't believe it. But no one suffered more than Max. The dog didn't understand what had happened. He saw his master being carried away. He whimpered. He scratched at the door. He refused to eat. He refused to sleep. Over the next 3 days, Max behaved stranger and stranger. He sat for hours in front of Francis's favorite chair, staring into space. He sniffed Francis's clothes, and he barked again and again, as if trying to say something. The family thought he was simply grieving. Dogs can grieve, they knew that. But it was more than that, much more. Max sensed something that no one else could perceive. On the day of the funeral, Max couldn't be calmed. Grace wanted to leave him at home, but Max scratched so desperately at the door that she gave in. "He needs to say goodbye," she said through tears. At the cemetery, Max behaved even stranger. He barked continuously. He pulled on the leash. He wanted to get to the coffin. The mourners whispered. "Poor dog," they said. "He can't let go." When the coffin was carried to the grave, something incredible happened. Max suddenly broke free, with a strength no one would have thought him capable of. He ran straight toward the coffin. The mourners screamed. Several men tried to stop him, but Max couldn't be stopped. And then it happened. Max jumped onto the coffin. He began stepping on it, again and again, with all his strength. People were horrified. What was this dog doing? Had he lost his mind? Was this his way of grieving? "Get him off there," someone shouted. But before anyone could react, Max stepped harder, more desperately. His paws hammered on the wood. Crack! A crack appeared in the lid. Crack! Another one. And then, crash! The lid broke. Everyone froze. Dead silence. No one dared to breathe. And then they heard it. A sound from the coffin. A faint groan. A weak cough. A breath. Francis Carter was alive. The screams of the mourners echoed across the cemetery. Grace fell to her knees. "Oh my God! Oh my God!" she screamed over and over. Francis was immediately pulled from the coffin. His face was pale, but his eyes slowly opened. What happened?" he whispered, confused. The ambulance arrived within minutes. Francis was taken to the hospital. The doctors were stunned. After thorough examinations, they determined Francis had suffered an extremely rare condition called catalepsy, suspended animation. In catalepsy, the body reduces all vital signs so much that even medical devices can barely detect them. The pulse becomes almost invisible. Breathing so shallow, it's not measurable. Body temperature drops. To doctors, it looks like death, but the person is still alive. But Max knew. His extraordinary sense of smell had recognized that his master was still alive. Dogs can smell chemical changes in the body. They can tell the difference between a living and a dead body. Max had perceived the faint signs of life that no human, no device could detect. When Francis fully awoke in the hospital, the first thing he saw was Max. The loyal dog hadn't left his side. He lay next to the hospital bed, his head on Francis's hand. Francis stroked Max with tears in his eyes. "You saved my life, my friend. You didn't give up on me." Max wagged his tail and licked Francis's face. The doctors confirmed. Without Max, Francis would have been buried alive. Within hours, he would have suffocated in his coffin. The dog had done the impossible. He had brought his owner back from death. This true story shows us dogs are more than just pets. They are protectors. They are family. And sometimes they are heroes. Their senses are so extraordinary that they can perceive things invisible to us. Max and Francis live happily together today. Their bond is stronger than ever. Francis says he owes Max not only his life, but also a second chance. And Max? He doesn't leave Francis's side for a second. Because Max proved that a dog's love knows no boundaries, not even death. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible animal stories.